You're tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blaske with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.
Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank. With the century of experience, you know you can count on us for convenient banking and personal service for people you know and trust. With extended hours and online banking for all your financial needs. Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank.
For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer. Since 1947, the staff at Bruna Implement Company works daily to provide the best parts and service when you need it, always dedicated to their customers. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations, and they know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. With locations in Marysville, Washington, Clay Center, Seneca, Hiawatha, and Humboldt, Nebraska. Stop by or give them a call today.
Welcome into this week's edition of the TVL Rundown. As always, joined with Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Sports Spotlight. Busy week once again here in the spring in the Twin Valley League. Going to start on the golf course. Guys had another run at it over at the golf course in Onega. Frankfort Invitational was held there Tuesday afternoon. Team result saw Onega take first place by 14 strokes, followed by Centralia, Hanover, Lynn, Valley Heights, and Frankfort. And like we talked about a couple weeks ago, super strong showing from that Onega golf team. 4 of the top 6 finishers were from Onega, with Ty Jones of Centralia at 3rd and Bronx Talley of Centralia at 5th. You know, it goes without saying, I think Onega has kind of solidified themselves as probably the best golf team right now in the Twin Valley League.
They have, but I have to give credit where credit is due. That lead is shrinking just a little bit. Onega can't rest on their laurels. They're an excellent team. There's no doubt in my mind. They're an excellent team. But things are getting a little closer, and a lot of these teams are improving. I think that's all we're going to see over the next few weeks is just improvement everywhere. So I look forward to this. Golf is one of the most interesting sports to me because, yes, they are a team, but you see a lot of individual athletes that can step up in this sport, and a lot of times do.
And I think that's what makes this spring sports season so fun is you're right. These are team placings, but a lot of times they rely on the individual of how they do that day. And golf track, both of them very much like that. And yeah, you're right. I think there's some teams on that golf course. Centralia is making a move up. We haven't really talked about Clifton Clyde, but they got 3rd at the Lincoln tournament this week. You know, some other teams, Hanover new this year, getting in there. Washington always strong, wasn't at that meet, but always a strong competitor. It's going to be interesting to see how golf shakes out. And as we talk about that other sport, which is track, quickly want to highlight the boys' results over at Nemaha the other day, a very highly competitive track meet. And on the boys' side, it was Axtell that once again comes away with the victory, 144 points to take first. And the Axtell boys clean sweep the relays, while Logan Sandman won the high jump and Landon Schmitz won the 100 and 300 hurdles. So on the boys' side, really good. And, you know, we'll talk about the girls because they had an exceptional day too as well. But Axtell, like we talked about last week, as a boys team, really strong to start the season.
Well, and that's really no surprise to anyone, I think. They're really good team athletes. They're very good discipline. That's what this sometimes takes, is that repetitiveness, getting things just right. And I think that's really what Axtell is all about. Just the little things that can help an individual or a team move on. And that's exactly what we see, just that discipline from the Eagles.
And some other runners that had some good disciplines. We'll talk about overall results, but want to talk about 3 record-breaking events there at Nemaha County on Tuesday from the girls' side. For the Valley Heights Lady Mustangs, Clara McIntyre breaks the 100-meter record for Valley Heights. She placed first with a 12.38 second. And then Caitlin Detweiler of the Axtell Eagles broke 2 school records. She beat the shot put record by nearly 2 feet and then broke a 27-year-old javelin record, breaking that record by a foot. So those two girls, hats off to them that really showed out there at Nemaha Central.
And, with these records, especially now, they're not easy records to break. They're putting forth the effort to get these, and it's really impressive what we see each and every meet from all of these girls. Clara McIntyre, you have to give credit. She just absolutely blazes around that track. She's one of the better runners that I have seen in the TVL in quite some time.
And a young athlete there, too, at Valley Heights, future's bright. And Jeff, I think what makes some of these records that are broken so early in the season, and we see it every sport, but these kids are just getting started in the season, and they're already breaking records, which is incredible.
And that just shows the promise down the line and shows how much you need to keep your eyes on this sport, because each and every time out, they do something more and more impressive, more and more noteworthy going through the entire season. And that's one of the perks of our jobs.
Definitely one of the perks, and we're not going to get into the total results, but just want to give you how dominant the Twin Valley League was over at Nemaha Central. They didn't come away with a first place finish as Nemaha Central girls took the team finish, but 15 of the 18 events saw a Twin Valley League athlete place first there Tuesday afternoon at Nemaha Central. So domination, I think, from that meet early on from all the Twin Valley League teams, and a lot of names that we can't get into, but a lot of names we've talked about throughout the year early on.
And I will have all of those results on the next edition of the TVL Spotlight. But yeah, just think about what you said. How many of those placings came from TVL athletes? It's incredible. And we almost say it as a side note, but it is so impressive.
It is. And like we said earlier, these times are continuing to get lower. The throws are going to continue to get longer as the season goes on. And, one thing we've talked about, Jeff, and I think it bodes well for every sport, but competition really fosters improvement. And when you're seeing Twin Valley League teams at these track meets take 2 of the top 3 finishes, or sometimes 3 of the 3 finishes, they're seeing each other multiple times in the year. So that competition level just kind of breeds more improvement with the kids.
There's no day that you can just take a day off. It is full go. And these athletes know that. They have that mindset. We can't back down today. It's full go.
And it's going to be full go for the spring schedule. As we look at next week's schedule, we've got 2 track meets, 2 golf meets, many softball and baseball games going on. So we'll have a lot to talk about next week. But as always, Jeff, if everyone wants to keep tabs throughout the week, where can everyone find the results from those events?
Check us out on social media, the TVL Spotlight, new Twitter handle, TVL_Spotlight for our new spot there. And as always, check out TVLspotlight.com.
As always, Jeff has got you covered with everything Twin Valley League. We thank you always for tuning in to the TVL Sports Spotlight. Like we said, we're going to have plenty to talk about when next week's edition rolls around.
You've been tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blaske with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.